And I do believe we're going to go back right now to Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePriest for an update on the situation outside. Hi, Bruce.
Hi, it's certainly been a busy afternoon with several tornado warnings that have happened in the state. Whether we've had a tornado or not, it's hard to tell. We'll have to wait and see if a survey team is sent out by the National Weather Service. But with or without a tornado, we've had significant damage to trees and power lines. Just updating you on the Eversource numbers and United Illuminating, we've had 232,000 customers now without power. There is the map. You could see that Western Connecticut hit hard. Portions of Eastern Connecticut hit pretty hard too. Many towns, they're not unscathed. The power outages going on, and Western Connecticut, one of the hardest hit areas, and of course that's where we've seen winds gusting up to very close to a hurricane force in places like West Haven. One bit of good news is that the tornado watch has been trimmed back. It's now been canceled for Fairfield and New Haven counties. It remains in effect for the rest of the state. You can see how things are kind of gradually improving by looking at early warning pinpoint Doppler. You can see that the showers in New Haven County are relatively light, but we still have some heavy downpours in northern and eastern Connecticut. I'm going to focus in on some of the areas where we are watching for the potential for something a little bit stronger to develop. Right there to the north and east of Norwich, far eastern Connecticut, we have right around Voluntown and also Preston and North Stonington, a heavy downpour. And these always have the chance of producing a spin-up. So we have to keep our guard up for the potential for more spin-ups and tornadoes as we go through the next hour or so. And then we also take a look at northeastern Connecticut, right up there around Putnam and Woodstock, where we have a very heavy cell that is soon to cross the border into Massachusetts, and also some let me widen this out one more time and show you that in the Hartford area things have improved. Nothing nearly as intense right now, but as we go to the east, right there around Storrs and Chaplin and northward into Stafford, we have some heavy downpours. And interestingly, all afternoon long, we have not seen any lightning strikes. You can see the lightning counter on the lower right of your screen there, right above the Channel 3 bug. However, we have not seen any lightning strikes, and it doesn't really matter in a situation like this. You could have these what we call low-topped cells that are producing heavy rain, but at the same time they could be producing spin-ups. It's just kind of a ripe situation in the atmosphere right now for that to happen. But I really believe over the next hour or two, weather conditions are going to improve tremendously. We take a look at the larger view, and you can see that Tropical Storm Isaias, which is still very strong, is now starting to get right up there to the latitude of the Connecticut-Massachusetts border, and it's going to be moving pretty much over the Albany area. So you can see off to the south and west of Connecticut, weather conditions are improving. There's just a little bit of wrap-around rain into northern New Jersey, and this tornado threat is kind of diminishing in southwestern Connecticut as well. So I really think that with this one band that's still moving in from off the ocean, there is still the threat for some spin-ups and tornadoes over the next hour or so. But you could also see that while the cells are moving to the northwest, the band itself is kind of lifting to the north and northeast right now. So as we go into this evening, I really think weather conditions are going to improve quite a bit. But again, we do have a tremendous amount of customers without power right now. We're looking at the severe threat according to the Storm Prediction Center. And whenever you get the yellow and especially the orange, which means an enhanced threat for severe weather, you really have to be on the lookout. But again, we are seeing weather conditions improve in Fairfield County in that area that is technically enhanced. We still have a tropical storm warning in effect for the entire state, where winds could be gusting to 40 miles an hour or higher. And we've actually had some gusts to a hurricane force right here in Connecticut. We'll go to our weather network, and you can see that the maximum wind gust reported in the state so far, and it could be even higher, as in West Haven. Gust to 75 miles an hour. Looking at Bristol, right in the greater Hartford area, we've had winds gusting to over 50 miles an hour, a gust to 54 miles an hour at the Green Hills School. At Storrs, we had a gust to 46, and Winstead, a gust to 42 miles an hour. But I checked with the National Weather Service, and they said that there's actually been some wind damage and tree damage in the town of Winstead. So this storm will continue to improve gradually. We'll take a look at some gusts elsewhere across the state, and you can see there it is. These are the latest reports from from some of the airports around the state where we had a gust to 58 miles an hour in Bridgeport. That doesn't necessarily mean that's been the peak wind gust. It's just what's happening right now. A gust of 54 miles an hour in New Haven and a gust of 44 miles an hour in Chester. Groton, you had a recent gust to around 33 miles an hour. So returning to early warning pinpoint Doppler, we are looking at some heavy rain, which is impacting mainly eastern Connecticut right now. Weather conditions are improving over central and southwestern portions of the state. So I think, by around 5 or 6 o'clock this evening, I think the threat for the tornadoes will be over, but will take a little while longer for the winds to settle down. So with that, we're going to go back to Mark and Aaron.